My fellow Kenyans, June 25, 2024 is a day that will forever remain etched in our national memory. It is a day when young Kenyans exercised their constitutional rights under Article 37 of the Constitution. They assembled, demonstrated and petitioned the government of the day simply because they believed that their voices mattered. But for many families, that day would turn out to be a day of unimaginable loss and pain. As we remember those who lost their lives, we must do more than just mourning. We need to ask, what lessons have we learned and what kind of country do we want to build moving forward? The tragedy of June 25 was not simply about the finance bill. It was about leadership. That tragedy exposed a growing disconnect between the citizens and those entrusted with public office. It reminded us that democracy suffers when leadership stops listening. Good leadership is not measured by power or the titles, the way we call them, waheshimiwa, honorables, excellency and all those things, or the privileges that we afford those people. It is measured by responsibility. Leaders are elected to serve, to listen to the people, and also to remain accountable to the people who elected them. Our Constitution, if you read it, begins with the words, "We the people." It also says in Article 1 that sovereignty belongs to the people of Kenya, not to the politicians, not to the leaders. It belongs to the people of Kenya. Public office is therefore not a reward. It is a trust. When citizens raise concerns, it is a constitutional duty of elected leaders to listen and respond to those concerns. That is the lesson of June 25. Accountability is not about laying blame or building political rivalry, as we have seen. It's about ensuring that these leaders answer for their decisions and that public institutions work for the people. A strong democracy requires leaders who can ask difficult questions and defend the constitutional rights of the people, and also ensure that public resources collected and consolidated for public use are used responsibly. As we reflect on June 25, I urge that we also look to the future. We must build a Kenya where the people are heard, where institutions are trusted, and where the government remains accountable. Now, those events, the events of June 2024, and everything that happened after that, are among the reasons that pushed me as a young person to offer myself for service as the next senator of Laikipia County. I'm not running because I need the power so much. I'm running because I believe leadership must be grounded in integrity, accountability, and service. I believe that public office should be used to solve problems that the people are facing. And most importantly, I believe that everyone across this country, including the people of Laikipia, deserve strong, independent, and principled voices in the Senate and the National Assembly. These two organs, the Senate and the National Assembly, play critical roles in our democracy. They protect our devolution. They represent the counties. Even the National Assembly, in a way, represents the counties. It's not just the work of the Senate. And they also generally provide oversight for public resources. As a senator, one must therefore be more than a politician. And I think that applies for members of parliament as well. Legislators, whether senators, women rep, members of the National Assembly, must be guardians of accountability and defenders of public interest. Now, unfortunately, that is not what we saw in the eve of the June 2024 events, the year 2024. It is not what we saw in 2025, and is not what we have seen in 2026. Our legislators exist for the sole purpose of protecting government. Now, one of the things I'm telling the people of Laikipia is that if elected, I want to work to strengthen transparency and accountability in government. I want to champion responsible use of public resources and ensure that devolution actually delivers meaningful results for our communities. I will be accessible. Most of these leaders, one of the biggest problems that we face is that our leaders are not accessible. You cannot turn up at your member of parliament's office to speak to them directly and offer them your insights. They're never available. So one of the things I intend to do is to be accessible to the people and also commit to represent their interests with courage and integrity. Now, Laikipia County, like many others, faces a lot of challenges. Our farmers need support. The pastoralist communities need opportunities. They need sustainable solutions to the recurring problem of drought. Our youth, they have suffered for so long, and all they hear are promises. But you know what the role of a senator is in creating youth opportunities? It's about ensuring that resources that are provided for counties are actually used to create opportunities that can employ young people and provide them with the necessary tools that they need to make a living. And so, when I think about these challenges that are facing counties, I don't believe that they can be solved through slogans. I think they require honest leadership, they require sound policies, and they require leaders who are willing to stand up for the people that they represent. Now, the memory of June 25 reminds us why this matters. It reminds us that leadership has consequences, that citizens must never be taken for granted. And it reminds us that those entrusted with public office must always remember who they serve. Their boss is the citizen who woke up and voted for you. Now, when I think about the events of June 2025 and 2024, because I think even in June 2025, we still had a number of people die during the commemoration of June 2024. I think the best way to honor those we lost is not through words alone. It has to be through actions. It is through building a country where leaders listen before the crises emerge, where institutions are respected, and where accountability is a principle, not the exception. Let us build a Kenya where leadership is defined by service. I urge all Kenyans to be the ambassadors of what they expect. We need to build a country where the citizens knows that their voices really matters. They need to feel valued. And we also need to ensure that the lessons of June 25 are never forgotten. For the sake of our democracy and for the future of young people and for the people that I hope to represent, the people of Laikipia, I can only urge that we build onto the lessons that we have learned, strengthen accountability systems in this country, and together we can build a stronger Kenya. I believe in the potential of young people. I think young people have shown that they have the capability, they have the capacity, they have the skills. Most young people are able to articulate the problems that their people are facing. I think they will make useful members of National Assembly, the Senate, and even county assemblies. I therefore urge young people, even as we commemorate those events, let us not fear. Let us come out. Let us run for those offices. Let us defend our constitution. Let us fight for our own rights. I am reminded that the real price of democracy is eternal vigilance. Now, eternal vigilance has to be accompanied by electing the right leaders. You elect the right leaders because you know that if those people represent you, then you have nothing to fear. You do not have to maintain your vigilance because somebody is speaking for you and standing for you. Today, on June 25, 2026, let us continue building courage. Let us remember the families that lost their loved ones. But most importantly, let us not forget the lessons. Let us not forget why those who died lost their lives. Thank you all.